welcome to REA Online. This is REA KOPI, and I'm so happy that you chose to watch this show. It's all about empowering, encouraging, and celebrating the girl child, women in all our facets. Now, on today's episode, we decided to do something really different because I love her so much. I wanted to dedicate an entire episode to her. Her name is Tebogo LebotseSebego. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
You guys are like, say my last name, say my last name.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Great.
Great.
We know you as, a big person in sports. Mm-hmm. You are the lady who was behind the netball tournament, or should I say netball World Cup,
yes,
that came to Botswana. You're also communication officer as well at Mascom, and so forth and so forth. Just bring us back when you started out after high school. Did you think that this is where you were going to go?
Not really. With netball, obviously, I started in primary school.
Yeah.
So netball has been part of my life since I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
So, but also, I just wanted to play netball. I never really wanted to do anything outside playing netball.
Yeah.
I wanted to play for the national team, which I did.
Yes.
It's great. And me getting into netball leadership was really not by design. It was one of those things that I'd been out of the game for about a few years because I decided to go back to school and pursue a career as opposed to continue playing netball. But then it got to a point where I felt that I also needed to do something for netball because I could relate to netball being part of everything that I've been. And I could link netball to all facets of my life, from friendships, from what I'd learned, the learnings, the ability to work with people, the teamwork. So I felt that it was time for me to go back and do something. That's how I got into administration. And it was not meant to be a long-term thing, but I ended up being Botswana Netball president for 10 years. But it was a point where when I came in, then it was like I have to do something big. Like it can't just be leadership and there's nothing out of it.
Yes.
So when the opportunity came to do the Netball World Youth Cup, it was that that's it.
Yeah.
That is why I ever played netball in my life. This was my calling.
Yeah.
I played netball because I was supposed to bring the Netball World Youth Cup to Botswana.
Yeah.
So that's how I reasoned it, and we got to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've read about you a couple of times, and I know that you praise netball for who you are, the kind of person that you are. And I wonder, before netball, because you were Tebogo before, who were you before netball?
Go back. 8 years old.
Yes.
I started playing netball. I also tried athletics.
Yeah.
And I was just so good at it. But from primary school to junior high to high school to university, netball was the only constant in my life. Aside from my family and my friends, the people that were my friends, most of them I met through netball.
Yeah.
So if you ask me who I was before netball, it's very hard for me to tell you that this is what I did. I went to school and I played netball.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I did that right up to varsity. I played netball in university. I played for the national team. And then it was in 2002 or around the early 2000s.
Yes.
That's when I decided that I'm going to stop playing netball and I'm going to concentrate on my career.
Yeah.
So I went back to school.
Why did you decide that? Why didn't you just say, you know what, I'm going to be a sports person. I'm going to be a netball player.
I chose family. I just got married, my first marriage, and we're expecting a baby.
Yes.
So I decided that I needed to be a mother. I decided that I also needed to get a career because in as much as sports is great, but then and even now there's only so very few people who can make it professionally in sport. So I realized that I could not sustain myself financially without a career. So I went back to school and I concentrated on building a career.
Yeah. A lot of women actually struggle with that, having to sacrifice a part of your career or whatever it is that you're planning for your family. Why was it so important for you to do that? Because you could have done it all.
I think for me, family has always been very important. I was born to a family of 3. I had 2 brothers, and unfortunately, they both passed.
Yeah.
So I got to realize the value of spending time with your family from a very young age. And I wish I'd spent more time with my brothers while they're still alive. So for me, it was like you only have a moment with your family. So when you can make the time for family, you really need to do that because you never know what tomorrow holds. Yeah.
Don't you ever feel like you could have been this person or you could have achieved this without you guys, little people, or this husband?
We have that conversation all the time with my eldest.
Yes.
She's 24, by the way. And she said, imagine how it would have been if it was just the two of us. We'd probably be traveling the world. We'd have enough money to travel the world and we'd be able to do whatever we want to do. So if I had not chosen this route, I'd probably be traveling a lot. And I'll probably be going to different places and not doing what I do, being a mother and a wife and all those things. So I don't think I would have been the same person at all.
So you don't feel bad about it?
No, I don't. I mean, it wasn't my job. It wasn't my destiny. It wasn't my path.
How are you able to accept that? Because this was you. Netball was your constant.
Yeah.
How were you able to accept that maybe God has something different for me? Because the fact that now it's not paying you and now you have to think of a plan B.
Yeah.
How are you able to accept this new plan?
I think I've always been able to look at a situation and say, this is the best that I can do out of this, and this is the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
And for me, I think one of the few things that we need to do as people is to accept a situation.
Yeah.
To say, this is it for me. I mean, I'm going to do the best with this. And if something doesn't work, just you can keep pushing and hitting at brick walls, but then it comes to a point where you just accept that perhaps this is my journey. I'll give an example. I got divorced.
Yes.
And I was willing to accept that I'm going to be a single woman, not a single mother. I don't like saying single mother because children have both parents, no matter the situation.
Very true.
So I was willing to accept that maybe my journey is not to be in a marriage. Maybe my journey is to be a mommy to these children, but also to be a woman who is not in a institution's relationship. And I was ready to accept being single, and I was ready to move on with single. I was convinced I'd never remarry, and I was so sure that I'd never get married again. But I did.
Wow. Okay. I have so many questions that are just now bubbling under, and I need to ask you, but we're going to go for a short commercial break.
That's all right.
We'll be right back. Tebogo LebotseSebego is not going anywhere. This is REA Online.
She's a very intelligent woman. Most of that, the position he's holding in Mascom, he inspires us as women that if you're a woman, you can hold any position.
She's confident. Well, since she brought Netball World Cup to Botswana, I think because ordinarily determined and hardworking is something.
It's REA Online. Welcome back. We're still here with Mrs. Tebogo LebotseSebego, who is a phenomenal woman. She holds so many titles and wears many hats. That's why we decided, you know what? Let her just have the entire show. It's okay. It's Tebogo Lebotse. Hey. Mrs. Tebogo Lebotse?
Yes.
You were telling me about, the fact that after you were divorced, you thought that, okay, I might just be single forever.
Yeah.
A lot of young women struggle with that, especially the fact that we see you as people who look up to you as a career woman.
Yeah.
And I don't even understand how you have all of it, because it kind of seems pretty hopeless, to be quite honest. Yeah. What's your take on that?
I think obviously there's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of expectations on women and a lot of expectations on mothers. There's a lot of expectations on how women should behave in the workplace and what women can do professionally, career-wise. And those are realities that we can't just brush under the table and hope that they go away. I think it's important to confront any situation that you come into contact with.
Yeah.
But for me, the most important thing is you have to start by being honest with yourself about how you feel about a particular issue.
Okay.
Once you're able to accept it and be real with yourself, then it's easy to voice that out and to put that across to people in your space and to people even people outside your space, so they know what you stand for and what works and what doesn't work with you.
Yeah. You find that a lot of strong women, a lot of career women, business women are, should I say, intimidated, or men are intimidated by them. I don't know if you've experienced that.
Well, my husband was certainly not intimidated with me.
Clearly not.
But I think it's harder. It's harder for most men, not all men, to step up to women who seems to have it, figured it out. It's easier, certainly for them to be with women who are not going to demand more from them. I mean, if you know what you want and if you know what you stand for, you expect the people around you to step up.
Yes.
And normally asking a man to step up is something that is very hard because it's easier for them to be average. That the world allows them to be mediocre, even. And they still get along, they still get away with it. And I think it's not so much as intimidation, it's more on men don't want to be asked to step up to the plate when they can have it all.
There's actually someone who once said to me, Rhea, I would not marry you. You would be my side chick. I'd marry someone else because you just make me want to work. I'm like, how do I do that? So you're definitely right on that. Now, you have had 2 marriages?
Yes, this is my second marriage.
And how has that been?
Totally different worlds. I mean, I got married when I was quite young. I was 25. We're both very young. We're both very young and quite inexperienced. And we had family immediately. So there was the pressure of being married, the pressure of having children, and the pressure of trying to do it all and work out our careers. So the odds were against us to start with. And the inexperience really worked against us. And but we got to a point where we realized that we're not growing each other. I mean, we're really not growing each other and we are not making each other happy. And it was only get to the kids, ultimately. And we're good friends. We raise our kids together. There are no issues there. And as I said, after I got divorced, I never thought I would marry. I was like, oh, that is hard. And I'm done. And but I met my current husband and he convinced me to marry him within 2 months of meeting him. So that's how I moved from one extreme to never getting married to another extreme that, yes, I'm getting married. And I look at it now and I can take the learnings from before and bring them here. One of the things that I've learned is that I'm more tolerant, I'm more patient. And I am not trying to be an equal to my husband. I'm not trying to be an equal to him. I know my space, I know my area. I'm submissive, but I'm not, you can't bully me to submission. He understands that for me to be submit to him, there are certain things that he must do for me to be able to submit. Because it doesn't matter what you do as a man. If you think that you can bully a woman to submission, you love a woman to submission. It's as easy as that. But it's certainly been a different environment. I'm more mature. I am more aware of the pressures. I don't succumb more to societal pressure. And I'm okay. I'm in a good space.
Would you say that, or should I say, would you advise women to marry later? Especially women who have goals and are career-oriented and powerhouses.
I would advise women not to rush into getting married if they've not found themselves. Because it's very hard to find yourself when you are with somebody else. Because whether you like it or not, you become some sort of reflection of the other person. And if they're an overbearing person, then they're going to influence you and what you become. So it is important that by the time you get into a relationship as serious as the institution of marriage, you have pretty much a good idea of who you are. It's also very important to have some sort of financial security. You've done your homework. You don't want to walk into a marriage where the financial situation is you are totally dependent, because even if you have got a very good man, the financial issues always will play a role. Especially, you have to earn your keep. That's what I keep saying. You have to earn your keep, and I get very worried when I see young women thinking that they want to get into marriage because they want financial security. That's the worst thing you can do to yourself, because most of the financial security comes with emotional abuse. And even physical abuse. So you must be in a position where if all else fails, you can pack your bag and leave. You must not get to a point where you are so imprisoned financially into the marriage that you can't pack your bag and leave, even if it means going back to your mother's house. You must be able to pack your bag and leave. If you get to a point where it's physically abusive, it's emotionally abusive, issues of mental illness are real. It's such a real thing that you don't want to be in a prison, and that prison is a marriage institution.
You have a blended family. How many kids do you have?
together with my husband,
Yes,
we've got
the whole family.
9 children.
Oh my goodness, a football team.
Nine children. Together with my husband, got 2 children.
Yeah.
When I got into the marriage, I had 3 of my own.
Yes.
And my husband had 4
Yeah.
of his own. And with me, the 3 that I bought were from 2 different fathers.
Yes.
And with my husband, they were from 4 different women. So we've got about pretty much 7-8 people running this family. It was hard at the beginning.
I was going to
It
go
was very
there.
hard at the beginning. Obviously, I brought my whole troop with me. I had all my 3 kids with
Yes.
me. And my husband at that point was staying with 2 of his children.
Yes.
No, 3 of his children when we got together. And it was hard at the beginning. It was really hard to understand the dynamics and to make sure that there's no divisions.
Yes.
There's no Block 6 squad and Brother squad.
Wow.
The fortunate thing is when we got married, we moved into a new home. So everybody
start over.
was in a space where there's no my room. There's no, this is where I used to, my private space. So we're all moving into a new space. So that really helped to manage the children because we had teenagers in the space and you know how it is.
Yeah.
The younger children, it was easier just for them to gel. But the teenagers was where we were worried that they would be, well, this is my space and this is not your space.
You know what?
Yeah.
I want us to continue that. We're going to go for a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. We're still going to be chatting to Mrs. Tebogo LebotseSebego. We're learning. It's REA Online. Welcome back to the show. It's REA Online. We're still having a chat with the beautiful, phenomenal Mrs. Tebogo LebotseSebego. Tebogo, how did you deal with your different kids that you had to mother from different parents? Some are teenagers, some are older, and some are toddlers.
Yeah, I think we're very clear that if it didn't work for the kids, it won't work for us. From the beginning, it was like, okay, we love each other, we want to get married, but if it's too much for the kids and it breaks them up, it's not working. So we worked very hard for it to work for the kids. And I'm very clear, you have to love me with my children, that's the first thing.
Yes.
And it's easier to love children when somebody allows you to be in their space. I mean, you don't have stepchildren at home. They know that I'm their mother.
Wow.
And then I put my foot down. They know if I said no, it's not happening, you can't go run to daddy. And my kids know they don't ask me for money. They want money, they ask him.
Yeah.
I don't handle the finances.
Yeah.
Permissions, I'm the authority when it comes to permission, movies or everything else, you ask me. So we are very clear on the roles as to who does what, and I don't encroach into his space. If he's decided this, that's what it is. You can't elevate or escalate to the other parent.
And then how did you deal with the other parents?
I think it was harder for me at first to deal with the other parents, and because you know, the roles of women and men are different in raising children. I know that I don't want people that I'm not sure about in my children's space.
Okay.
So it was harder for me to get to a point where they would feel comfortable with me raising their children.
Yes.
But the only thing that I could promise them is that I would love your children. That's it. There's nothing else I can't, if you can't feel that. And I keep saying, kids know when you love them and you love them genuinely.
Yeah.
They know.
Yeah.
They know, they'll feel you. If you don't, they'll just step back from you.
Yeah. You are an amazing leader. There are certain qualities that we look up to, you know, for you actually as a leader.
Yeah.
And I just tend to wonder, how do you stay on top of your game in terms of leadership?
Let's look at the Netball World Youth Conference or my role in netball leadership. Obviously, when I started, it was hard. I didn't understand a lot of things. I didn't understand a lot of politics. So I struggled at the beginning of my presidency with netball and to deal with people dynamics, people issues. But when you talk about my professional side in terms of what I do with my work, I work with a team of very young people now at NASCOM, and what I try to teach them is very simple. You have to be real in whatever that you do. You have to be real when you are dealing with other people. If I am your supervisor, for instance, and I don't have your best interest at heart, you will know.
Yes.
But if you know that I have your best interest at heart, I want to get the best out of you. You give me the best over you. It's a give and take. So you can't fake it. You can't fake caring about people.
Yes.
You really must care about them, what happens to them, and you must show it.
Yeah.
And you must not set traps for people, for them to fall. And you must also not be scared of what somebody beneath, that is under your supervision.
Yeah.
Can bring to the table.
Yes.
If they're good, they're good.
Yeah.
If they're going to take your job, they're going to take your job because they're good.
Yeah.
So you can't press them down because you're scared that the world will see that they're better than you. Because they bring something that you don't have, and you have something that they don't have. So you must find a way of compliment, and you must not be threatened by the people that you are leading. You must really care about them. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yo, that is amazing. Now we asked a few questions. We asked a few people to ask you questions. What would they ask them? There's one here that says, when did you start to believe in yourself? Like really believe in yourself?
When I survived divorce. Yeah.
What did it take for you to reach the level in question above? Wow.
It took acceptance. It took accepting that I cannot change some things and I just have to deal with them.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not about me, it's about the world, and I just have to put my best foot forward. Yeah.
If you're not, what do you do if you're not at Mascom?
I travel. I travel, and I also go to places where I can be alone.
Yes.
With the people that I want to be alone with.
Yeah.
Away from it all, and I can let my hair down. Yeah.
If not netball, what's next for you?
Netball will always be a part of my life. I think. I'm looking into doing more in terms of the corporate space for netball. I think that's an area that's an opportunity for more women to be involved in the game.
Yes.
I respect men. What they do with football, they are so involved. We don't do enough as women. So I'd really like to get more women to play sport, and preferably to play netball. Not the professional type, but just the recreational and the social part of netball. That's one area that I really like.
Yes.
The likes of you to spend a Friday.
Yeah.
Instead of going to a restaurant.
Yes.
Spend 2 hours chilling and playing netball.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would love that. I was a netball player, by the way. Yes, I was
like a center.
Yes, I was a city center. I was. Okay, but wrapping up the show, I'd just like to ask you, if there's a young woman right now and she's watching this show and she absolutely adores you the way I do, what kind of advice would you give her in terms of career and passion? Facing that camera right there.
Well, passion is very important, and if you don't have a passion for something, you can't get it right. I mean, I used to say netball is my drug. If somebody asked me, what are you high on? I would say I'm high on netball. And it was that one thing that I did for me. It wasn't about the kids, wasn't about the husband, it was just about me. So find that one thing that you love doing and do it well, because it's going to teach you other things. It's going to teach you about you. It's going to teach you about leadership. It's going to teach you about how to deal with people. And that could just be the thing that is going to profile you better than a career. I think netball has profiled me better than being a communications and PR person.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Ms. Tebogo.
Thank you so much.
I would love to have this more and more off camera. Thank you very much.
Right.
Yes, this was Mrs. Tebogo LebotseSebego, inspiring us to be the very best version of ourselves. You know, go out there, live your dreams, and don't have any shame. Understand yourself. Be real with yourself.
Yep.
I can go on and on. I'm close to tears, but I'll hold myself. Be sure to join us again next time. Same place. It is REA Online.